You don't want to be every time, no. I would like to personally welcome you to Man Hour After Dark. Say that then. Why I bring you the host, Mike, Buck, and Cone. You know who's coming to the stage. Sports talk than what you about to hear right here. I second that. Go. You know that it's us when we talking about sports. Giving you facts on the field to the court. Tune in, we need the support. 1 hour too short, then listen some more. On all your stations, not dropping no music. Stripes like Adidas, but Nike just do it. Down 4 in the 4th, we go for the win. Michael 2 seconds, we taking it in. Buck, Mike, and Combs, you know what's going on. Man, now we're after dark, no LA, we the big spark. No 4th and inches won't cut short. Got the best talking, it's all sports. Buzzing more than buzzer beaters. We coming live all through your speakers, go.
And what is up, Man Hour Nation? Michael Buckhashi here with the Man Hour. First things first, head over to manhourradio.com. Check out the blog section. Check out the merchandise section. But most importantly, check out the members-only tab. As little as $3 a month, you can become a member over there. You can help us out. $3 a month. It helps out the cause and helps us have a great, great show. Speaking of a great show and the man, the myth, the legend himself, D. Wyatt Williams. Go ahead and welcome Wyatt on the show. Wyatt, what's going on today, buddy?
What's going on, man? I'm ready for a awesome show. We got some awesome guests lined up. We got Trey Kaufman, a state champ in the state of Indiana, headed to Purdue. After Trey, we've got Zen, who's at Ohio State right now. After that, we've got Cobie Barnes headed to John A. Logan. Then following that, we've got Kooper, Jacobi, who is Trey Kaufman's teammate on Silver Creek. He's headed to Toledo. We have got a jam-packed show.
Yeah, interview after interview after interview, but let's go ahead and bring on the Purdue man himself, the Boilermaker himself, Trey Kaufman. What's up, Trey?
What's going on, Trey?
Yeah, what's up, guys? Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, man. So as we're going to bring up some highlights. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me, buddy?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We're all good. So
yeah,
I really want, there's a lot we got to discuss here. State champs just, less than a week ago. Purdue, there's a lot of stuff we got to discuss. We're going to back this up all the way back to the last state title game. So you guys win state your sophomore year, in 2019 before COVID, pre-COVID, I should say, before the world went crazy. Just what was that like?
It was a lot different than this recent time. It was one of those things where I don't think we were expected to win. And then it was the first time in school history, so it was almost a shock. So it was a really cool experience for obviously the community and the town.
Absolutely. So the now we'll jump to a little bit of recruitment too. So recruitment's coming down. You finished your top 5, which had Purdue, of course, where you were headed. IU was a part of it. There was also North Carolina, Virginia, and Indiana State. 3 of those schools, I might add, do not have the coach that recruited you. I think you made the right decision. I gotta say, you went with a clear-cut one there too, and you went with one of the decisions that still has a coach.
Right. Yeah. Obviously, I didn't know all those guys would be not there, but at the same time, I was definitely happy with the decision that I made, and I thought it was the right one.
Absolutely. So speaking of, headed up there with you next year, Caleb First, who was at Fort Wayne Blackhawk. He won the 2A state title. You came through right after that and won the 3A state title. What is that like to kind of know that you're going to share the floor with somebody who is, equally as successful or as successful in high school as you were? Is it exciting to get to play with somebody like that?
Oh, for sure. Because you know that you have a winner on your team, right? You have, obviously you're going to winning culture, winning program, but you're also going in with somebody who's obviously never played on the college level, but played at the highest high school levels for sure.
Yeah. So
in Indiana basketball.
Oh, sorry, but I didn't mean to cut you off. You cut out there for just a second. But looking to when you head to Purdue next year, Purdue already set on ESPN as the 3 seed right now for next season. What does that mean to you to get to play for a program that, has the upside that it does at the moment?
Um, I mean, it means a lot. Obviously, you know, as Coach Hoffman always says, potential doesn't mean it means what you could be. So, obviously, I knew when I selected Purdue that there was going to be a group of guys up there who were very talented and had a very um, winning program, and so I knew we were going to be good. Um, so, job to come in there and do whatever I can to help them win and try to I guess find my role in that type of environment.
Yeah, so you speak on winning and stuff. Silver Creek, the area that it's in, of course, Sellersburg, Indiana. There is a lot of shirts right now being made. The brand being tossed around of Titletown. I love that brand because you guys won your second state title. The girls won a state title in basketball. Even the cheerleaders got away with a state title this year. So, what does that mean to be a part of a community that is now known as Titletown?
It's those things where um, obviously I heard the name Titletown, and it's you turn it down just a little bit. Just turn the TV off. Turn the TV off. Um, no, just being a part of something like that is really cool, and I'm glad that I got to chip in to a program and a town that could do that.
Absolutely. So, we're having one of your teammates on here in a little bit, that being Kooper Jacobi. Now, Kooper finished the state title game with, I believe it was, 18 points and 18 rebounds, wasn't it?
Yes. Yep.
So a really impressive performance. I asked you earlier, joking around, was there anything different in the routine that morning? What did he eat something different? What happened? Because he went crazy in that game. Both you guys did. But I mean, 18 rebounds, that's an outrageous stat.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's one of those guys. It's I guess it's a little weird for spectators to see, but when you go up against somebody like that and practice against him every day, you know what he's capable of. And he was capable of a game like that. He was bound to have a game like that. So I was super excited for him, and we needed every one of the rebounds that he had for sure to win.
Absolutely. So, Buck, I'm going to toss it to you here for a second. Buck,
Yeah.
You got any questions?
Yeah. So I didn't know anything about the whole Titletown thing. That is actually pretty cool because Cindy actually went and got us the state championship girls. We picked them up from the girls Tuesday or Wednesday, and we ordered ours this week for the boys. So I'm pretty excited and like about that. But Trey, what is going on in Indiana right now, and they have a brand new coach. Has that new coach contacted you about maybe trying to pull your commitment from the Purdue and kind of stay closer to home?
Can you repeat the last part of the question?
Yeah, has the Indiana new basketball coach
Mike
contacted
Woodson.
you? Yeah, Mike Woodson contacted you about possibly staying closer to home.
The Indiana coach? No, I mean, um, he hasn't. I guess I'm not sure what the question is. But, yeah, obviously I committed and signed to Purdue, so I. Sorry, I'm having some
Oh yeah,
connection issues here.
it's
It's
definitely
all right, man.
understand, man. Don't worry about that one. Like at all. As we are going to try to get Trey come back here as soon as he can. But Wyatt, let's go ahead and go through some of these highlights. These are some highlights from his AAU days.
Absolutely.
Over here with a pretty it's a pretty stout team there because like I see Kooper over there. I see some guys from Jeff on the team as well. This is Indiana Elite, and these are basically the best of the best players in all the area, and Trey is kind of making them all look kind of silly out there, you know?
Oh yeah, look at that dunk right there. Incredible. He's absolutely an incredible athlete. He had a powerful dunk in the state title game. That was really awesome. Here's we get Trey back here. I'm bringing him on. Oh, I think we lost him again, man. Technology sucks, man. But anyways, yeah, no. Trey's an incredible athlete. He had a really awesome dunk in the state title game. He drove the baseline, jumped up, and just slammed it home, hammered it. But him and Kooper really just took over that game. Like I said, Kooper had like 18 rebounds, something like that. That has got to be at least if not a record, it's got to be top 5 all time in state title game rebound records. It has to be.
Yeah.
Because 18, I have never even seen in my life an 18 rebound game.
I mean,
almost unheard of.
I mean, just like when you guys watch this kid play, like he moves up the court so easily, and then boom, that second gear, he is in the lane. I like at the top of the rim, looks really, really, really good, really, really solid. But the one thing that I really noticed that he added to his game his senior year was the outside shooting.
Yes.
I mean, if you guys look at the NBA right now, everybody's shooting those outside shots, and now Trey has added that to his what you want to call it here, Wyatt, his bag of tricks, right? Like he has that outside game now, and every game I saw him, he at least made 2 or 3 threes like every game. So it just isn't like a, you know, I want to jump out here and maybe shoot 1 or 2 and hopefully it goes in. No, he is shooting them, you know, with confidence, with supreme confidence here, and just doing great things. And the Purdue Boilermakers got a steal in recruiting this kid 100. And as we see there, like right there is a 3. I mean, that 3 looks nice and smooth, very, very solid. I mean, looks great.
Well, you know, and this was the summer they spent a lot of time there working on it. Here, as we get him back. Trey, can you hear me, buddy?
Yeah.
There we go. Really we got you now back. Technology stopped kicking all of us, hasn't it? At least for a second, right?
Yes. Yeah. Buck, what was your question again?
Yeah. So so there is a player here, like in our area, names, and he was one time committed to a different college, and then, you know, he kind of blew up, and then he ultimately signed with a different college. You have kind of been at the top of your game for the last 3 years here and getting recruited heavily. Has the Indiana coach contacted you at all, like about possibly pulling your commitment from Purdue and going and staying home at Indiana?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got your question. No. He is not. You know, even if he had, it wouldn't make a difference. I love everything that's going on at Purdue, and for me, I think that was the perfect fit.
Yes. Yeah. So you saw them play this year in the March Madness tournament, and obviously get, you know, basically not the result that they were looking for. How do you think you are going to improve on that record in the postseason? Are you going to, you know, maybe drive to the basket more? Like how can you improve this team and make a national championship run next year?
You know, I think one of the keys to my game is just how versatile I am. So whatever the team needs me to do on the floor, I'll be able to do. As far as what happened in the postseason, I think we were, what was it? I think there was some kind of stat. I think we were like the 3rd youngest team, and they were the 3rd oldest team. And watching the game, it seemed like what was I forget what team they lost to.
North Texas.
They just seemed so, North Texas. They just seemed so, it was different. They're hitting everything, and it was just one of those games. So it's like, I think I think all my teammates, I think they have it in them. And so I'm just excited to be a part of it. You know, obviously you can't predict the future, but I would say that, you know, that's probably not going to happen again, just with the level of talent that's at Purdue.
And because they got you, right?
Well, yeah, I'm never gonna bet against myself.
Exactly. Love it.
I love it. So the question I have for you, Trey, with AAU, are you still able to play AAU this summer, or is AAU all over it? Is that like before your senior year is the last year, or do they have one after your senior year? Can you play another season?
So I think you can technically still play. I won't be. I won't be playing. And I don't think any elite does, but especially if you're not signed to a team, there are AAU teams that you can play for, but I will not be. No. I'm just trying to focus on getting my body right and getting my skill set right to get to Purdue as soon as possible and get adjusted.
So the main question that I asked you before you guys played in the state title game, we went bowling that day, which, as I found out, that you are not only a ping pong extraordinaire, but a bowling extraordinaire as well. But what else did I found out? I asked you the question while we were sitting there at the lanes and stuff. Do you think that the first state title will mean more to you or this one? And you said, I don't really know. I want to play in the game before I give you the answer to that question. So now I'm going to propose the question to you again. What were the differences in it and which one meant more to you? Was it more on that first one, or was it, you finished off your senior year, your high school career with that state title?
I think the first one, but they were both a lot different. I just think the first one because it was the first time, like I said, in school history that we'd won anything as far as a state championship. We weren't predicted to win. We weren't supposed to win, even though that I believe we had the better team. I think that one just means a little bit more than the other ones, or the other one. That being said, I mean the second one, we had to deal with COVID, which everybody had to, but we also had some injuries on our team, different lineup changes. We just had a lot going on that was different. So I think the second one was a lot harder, and for that, that's what makes that one so unique and different. And of course, it's the second one. And I think we were supposed to win that one as well. So it was just a little different experience from being like an underdog to, I guess, being picked to win per se.
Yeah, so you guys in that state title game, I believe it was a 6-point lead with just about a minute left. And Leo, they were a good team. They refused to give up. Was there ever a moment where you got a little worried yourself, like, yeah, this might end wrong, or was there ever a moment where you just got kind of worried about, what all was going on at the time?
Not really. No, I mean we played close games. We played the Connor. That was a super close game. Like I said, both regional games. Obviously the semi-state game was that close, but besides that, I mean, we played a tough one versus North Harrison. So games where I was actually very excited that we won that type of close game, especially against Leo, a team that has a really good player, but also a really good team that's won some close games. So they knew what it took to win. So I think it's kind of cool that we were able to stop them from their comeback, something that they'd been doing the entire state tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah, so one thing that I noticed from your game this year versus the years past is like I believe it was sometime during mid-season when you guys were riddled with the injury bug and you had the opportunity to play basically like you had the ball in your hand pretty much all game. Like, I don't know if you want to call it a point guard or a two guard, but you were the primary ball handler for your team. With that being said, did you feel comfortable with the ball in your hand, or do you feel more comfortable playing at a wing?
Um, I think it's both of them. I mean, I don't find there wasn't anything that was, I guess, more comfort. Um, in the team, obviously we had our guard was out for a portion of it, so I had to get used to that and kind of running the team that way. But I don't think one felt more comfortable than the other one. As long as you have good ball handling, know what your coach wants. I mean, executing it pretty easy.
So you are committed to the Purdue. You are going to be playing in a Big 12, team this next season. What is an ideal goal for you for next year?
It's hard to say. As far as me personally, like I said, I just want to go up there, try as hard as I can and learn as much as I can. That's really what I take. I'm not really setting any major goals, but really I think the sky's the limit with this team. I mean, I think we have enough talent to obviously we're a team, and see, anything can happen.
Right. All right. So, why? Any closing thoughts before we let Trey go and enjoy the rest of his night?
Yeah. So, just real quick, what is, I mean, of course, the ultimate goal is to win a national title at Purdue. But if you could kind of give me, 3 things that are your biggest goals as you head off to college, what are the 3 goals you have as you get ready to head to Purdue?
As far as like developing as a player, or
No, just anything like accomplishments. Of course, everybody wants, like I said, everybody wants to win a national title, but really anything, just your biggest goals.
goes. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, my main thing is just going there and learning as much as possible from the coaches and the players, and getting. Like I said, I try not to be, obviously I'm goal oriented, but I try not to be too goal oriented. As far as long, with the team and we're making, that's the big for me.
Absolutely, Trey. Well, we appreciate you being on, taking time out of your very busy schedule. Best of luck to you throughout the rest of the offseason as you get ready to head to Purdue, buddy.
Oh, and as he gets us out of here, before he can say goodbye. But yeah, I mean, sometimes just technology on side of things here, it just isn't the best thing, and we were having just a bad connection there. So sorry about the lag, but Trey is always a great interview, and I always really enjoy talking to him, just because there are some people that we talk to that are really calm and reserved on camera, but off camera they're really flamboyant and wild and crazy. Guys, this is who Trey is. He is the same off air as he is on air. He's just a great, humble human being. So I'm really glad we had a chance to talk to him, and wish him nothing but the best over there in Purdue.
Yeah, don't challenge him in ping pong or bowling, as I found out the hard way. Now, I haven't challenged him in ping pong. I already knew he was an expert at that, but we went bowling. Oh, my Lord, man. He was I think he scored a solid almost 200. I don't even know what it was. It was in the upper 100s. It was insane.
Well, it also helps when you're almost 7 foot and you can reach halfway down the lane and just kind of
That's true. That's
push
true.
the ball right.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So we are going to take our first break of the night. Like I said, we do have a interview jam-packed show. We have Zen Michalski coming up next, the Ohio State left tackle right now. Spring ball for him starts, or their spring game, Wyatt, is April 17th, and I have every intention of being there. So I am excited to talk to. I'm excited to talk to Zen, watch his improvement and growth. And we are going to take a quick little break, guys, here on the Man Hour. We'll be right back. And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckeyes along with Wyatt Williams here. Let me go ahead and bring him back onto the screen, guys. If you're going to miss any part of the show whatsoever, you can catch each and every one of these interviews over at youtube.com/Man Hour, as I will upload the clips over here throughout the weekend. But of course, if you guys are going to listen to us on the radio, you can also download us on podcast form, iTunes, Spotify, and iHeartRadio as well. And as we wait for Zen to join us here on this bottom half hour here, first things first, Wyatt, we have seen the growth of Zen from a high school senior, very young, wet behind the ears, to now he is a full-grown man. Like, let's just be flat out honest.
Well,
like,
Buck, I've really seen the growth of Zen. I pretty much trained him because I started over him.
Yeah.
I gave him pointers and I kind of got him to where he is now. At least that's what I like to tell everybody.
Yeah. What year was that? 8th grade, 7th grade?
Yeah. So
Okay.
I've really been mentoring him and watching over him since 8th grade.
Yeah.
And I've helped him get to this point.
And if you guys have been following the Man Hour at all, you know that Zen started playing football in like 8th grade. So
it was 8th grade. Yeah.
So therefore, basically Wyatt was starting over somebody that never played football before and lost his starting job by the end of the season, and now Zen is at Ohio State, killing people, absolutely killing people. So
yeah, he is. We got a clip to show you guys here in a little bit, and wow, like that's all I'm gonna say. I don't want to spoil anything. I don't want to, tell. I'll let you guys see it for yourself. You're gonna want to see this, and if you're listening on Big X, be sure to check out our YouTube channel to see this, because it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. So one thing that you guys need to know about Zen is he has probably put on, I would say he has almost doubled his body weight in a year.
Oh, he's huge now.
So
he's huge now.
So from his junior summer, or like after the junior football season, going into the senior football season, like he was probably what, 200 pounds, maybe 205. Something.
Junior heading into senior year, no, he was in like the hundreds still. I think. I don't think he got up to 200 pounds.
Yeah,
he really packed it on, man. He worked his butt off and got to where he is now.
Yeah, and then going into his senior year, he started the season off at 240, 250. By the end of the season, he was up to 280, and now, guys, I bet you he's probably pushing damn near 300 pounds. Like, this kid has worked his butt off in the weight room. Eating, he is smart individual. He is learning the playbook left and right, and his story, why, is a very, very exciting story. I mean, you followed it throughout. You were there for his first commitment. Tell us a little bit about that. Like, tell us about that. I mean, just from your side of things, tell us like how that commitment went down.
Yeah, so I'll just pretty much break it down from the beginning. I was there for, I saw Zen had got the offer from Indiana State. There was a day that a bunch of Floyd Central guys went up there. I believe it was that day. But he got an offer from Indiana State, not Illinois State, that's Winkers. Indiana State. And it pretty much just took off from there. I mean, it was crazy. It was like every single day there was a new team coming in and stuff. And then Louisville offered him. And he was really excited about that. Louisville's, one of those schools in the area. I believe he was a Louisville fan. It was one of his dream schools, of course, Ohio State being his actual top dream school. But yeah, he was really excited just to get to the opportunity to play college football. So, he was pumped, and I went down to Lexington, Kentucky, where his dad is, and did his commitment from the art gallery that his dad works at. Really beautiful place. Stained glass everywhere. It was awesome. Awesome day, really cool. Drove down there with Blake Zender, and we both produced it and put it out there on Facebook and Twitter live. And yeah, he committed to Louisville. Then got into his season, and he put on even more weight, got even more incredible highlights.
So hang on, pause there. You are kind of skipping over the biggest thing here, is that basically we didn't even know like if we were going to have a football season. So like that is almost why Zen committed so early, was because he didn't know if we were going to have a football season at all, and he wanted the chance to play football at the college level, and basically like at the time he had an offer on the table to go to a Division I school, to a Power 5 conference. So why not take that opportunity, right?
Yeah, he and at that time he got an offer from, it was all pretty much in the same week. Penn State, Florida State, Ohio State, and then there was one more school I can't remember that. Oh no, it wasn't. There wasn't another school. It was Louisville. So he decommitted from Louisville. Said that he wasn't. He was going to still consider Louisville, but he wanted to take some time to really think it out. And then ended up, and I got the opportunity to host his second commitment as well, and that was a lot of fun, really exciting. And yeah, he committed to Ohio State, as we see now.
Yeah, so I actually had the privilege of coaching Zen throughout, from his sophomore year on to his senior year. granted, I wasn't his position coach, but I still got the opportunity to coach him. He did play some defensive line for me his senior year, but things really blew up for him when we went to a school called Elder. Elder is a huge name in Cincinnati, Ohio. They are a huge Catholic school out there, and they consistently win state championship after state championship after state championship. Their coach has lost a total of 5 games in 15 years. So go ahead and wrap your head just around that. 5 games in 15 years.
Whoa.
So with that being said, me as a coach knew that Ohio State was going to be at that Elder game to basically scout Zen and to basically present him with a scholarship offer. However, because of COVID protocols, Ohio State technically wasn't supposed to be there, but they still had a scout in the stands watching Zen play.
No, it was Elder's coach. That's who it was,
Right.
because that's how good this coach was. That the Ohio State trusted him to scout for them.
Well, yeah, which is their scout. And at film Saturday morning, Ohio State called Zen in the middle of film and they're like, "Hey, you want to come to Ohio State?" And bada bing, bada boom, the rest is all history. So let's go ahead and welcome the man, the myth, the legend himself, wearing a Boston Red Sox shirt. Come on, Zen. You are better than that, man.
I don't like them. This is just a shirt I have.
Okay, so you don't like a team that you just wear a shirt?
Zen,
okay.
You've got to know this.
Whoa.
Pump the brakes. Pump the brakes.
I got this shirt from Craig, one of my friends. It was just a big shirt that fits me, so I was like, I'm gonna wear it around the house.
So a big shirt. So does that mean that you've gained some more weight since the last time we have talked, Zen?
No. I've had this shirt for a while. It's a double XL, which is comfortable. I mean, I don't watch baseball at all, so I probably couldn't even told you what this team was.
Yeah, it just happens to be that the B is your GPA, right? A B average, so
Pretty
that's
much.
why that's why you wore it.
3.0.
There you go.
Let's go.
Go ahead, Wyatt.
Yeah, so Zen, I wanted to start it off. I've had everybody waiting here. I got to start it off with this highlight for you, man. Okay, Buck, bring this highlight up real quick.
Don't yell at me.
Do it, Buck, now. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so here we go. So as you see there, you can see Zen is the guy who just literally pancaked a 3-year starting senior linebacker who plays at The Ohio State. As you see Zen come up right through the middle, bust off that guy, boom, look at it right there at the 30-yard line, and sends him down at the 25. Or that would be the 35. Sorry, other way. But yeah, wow, Zen. Wow. So everybody listening on Big X, be sure to go to YouTube and check this out. It's at the 35 mark of our YouTube broadcast. So check it out there. But Zen, whoa, like that's a big boy play, man. What was that?
Yeah. I don't know. It was just playing football. It was just a normal, like, that's our half line period where it's like it's full contact, full go. It's just like it's like team, but with half the team. Does that makes any kind of sense? Like, we're just doing it with like half the line because a lot of our plays, like, guys can get caught up and get hurt and stuff. If we run like 30 plays of like outside zone or something, like something's gonna happen. Someone's gonna get hurt with all these guys at full speed. So they just do with half of it, just kind of like take down on like injuries and just like people getting beat up. But yeah, I was just coming down on a block, and then I was supposed to come off the linebacker, and we had been drilling a lot of like speed to power stuff. Oh, did I freeze? Oh, my bad. Never
You
mind.
are totally
But
fine,
yeah.
Zen. You're totally fine.
But yeah, it started. We're doing speed to power stuff, which is just like when you're blocking linebackers, just like taking your speed momentum and like just how to put your feet in the ground and like make contact and hit low and stuff, and it just worked really well.
Yeah, well, it worked pretty well. You got pretty low on, and then
Yeah.
sent that guy. Did you say anything to him after you did that? Like, who's your daddy or anything? Was there any kind of nothing?
No.
What, you didn't say anything?
I'm not. I don't play with. I'm not that kind of person. I don't think any of our games. I don't think I don't say anything during games or practice.
No.
It's practice.
I texted you immediately and I said, Zen, this is not some scrawny kid from Jennings County or, somewhere in the middle of nowhere, Indiana. This is a linebacker at Ohio State. I mean, wow. I mean, I don't mean to continue to stick on this play. It was awesome. It was incredibly impressive. But nonetheless, so we talked a little bit about it earlier, the decommitment and the commitment before you hopped on. So kind of just for everybody here, I gave my opinion, because I hosted both your commitments and kind of talked to you through that process as well as Buck did. But kind of run everybody through that process for you. What was that like for you to, decommit from Louisville and then, or get the offer from Ohio State, then decommit from Louisville, then have to choose between the four schools and then go to Ohio State? What was that process like for you?
It was a lot of kind of like taking your own kind of like not letting people like tell you what they think you should do. Like a lot of people told me to not go to Ohio State and like stay at Louisville, and like they thought that it was too big of a school for me, and that people thought that I shouldn't go there because I would never play, or like it's just a waste of time just going to compete with all those guys. But like my whole like recruiting process, like pretty much like my whole football career has been like that exact same thing of like kind of people telling me that like I don't think you're here yet, or I think that you should stick to a lower level of where you actually are, and like people tell me to play it smart, and that like what happened through my whole recruitment. Like everyone used to tell me before I had gotten like Power 5 offers. When I got like my first one, I think it was like Boston College, and then they started coming in a lot. People were like, "Yeah, I think you should stay in the MAC because, I mean, the MAC is like, it's a good football area. It's like it's good size football. It's Division I scholarship." And there was just like the Power 5 is a whole different world. And then when I started getting a lot of Power 5 offers, and like kind of they started to stack up, everyone was like, "Wow, okay, yeah." Like they started taking some of these higher Power 5 schools and were telling me that I shouldn't go there, I couldn't play there. Like I think one of my bigger ones was like Michigan State or something, or
Yeah.
some other school at the time. People were like, "Yeah, I think that's too big football for you. It's Big Ten football. It's a different world than like ACC or something." So I was like, "Oh, just kind of like have to ignore that." And then I decided to go to Louisville. And then when I got an Ohio State offer, everyone was kind of like, "Yeah, like that's cool, but are you actually gonna play there? Is that like are you gonna be able to go compete with these guys?" I was like, I mean, everyone had told me the same thing up until this point, so it's just like I feel like just kind of been a lot of doing my own thing.
Absolutely. So just kind of, in a way, essentially just kind of betting on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So, so you guys are, what are the conditions like? I've seen all this stuff on TikTok of these athletes, dealing with, COVID and everything currently. Do you guys get tested every day at the moment, or what is that? What is that like?
It's not bad now. A lot of us are getting vaccinated. I already had my first shot, so I don't have to test anymore. I get like second shot in the 29th, I think. But God, that first shot takes it out of you. Like I was not feeling good for like a couple of days. I was like bed bound for a little bit, but it's not too bad. When we first got here, it was bad. It was like the PCR test where they like tickle your brain. It felt like every single day.
I hear you on that one, Zen. It's horrible.
I know. I had finally gotten used to those. We had those like 3 or 4 times a week before practice.
Yikes.
And then we started going to the ones that you do yourself. And the first day we did that, I tested positive for COVID.
Awesome.
So I had to go to the hotel. And then I came back, and you have like a 90-day like period after you get out of quarantine where you don't have to test or anything. But I went and got my vaccine anyways, so I won't have to test anymore, period. So I'm done, thank God.
Nice. There you go. So, we talked a little bit while I was just in Columbus a couple of weeks ago. I didn't realize that you guys were still out to leave the facilities, but speaking of facilities, you guys had a pretty big day the other day at the facilities of the pro days or whatever. What was that like to kind of see these athletes, like Justin Fields and all of them compete at the pro day right in front of you?
Oh, it was really cool. Like getting to like meet and talk to Justin, like a couple of days. Like he still comes in and works out and stuff. And like there was a time where I was finishing up my last workout. I was like one of the last guys in there because I was taking forever. And he was in there doing arms and stuff. And we were just like talking about like his career and stuff. And it was cool just to like really meet those guys and like see who they actually are and like I'd say I think I got like a high five or like the handshake from Chase Young when he was there. It was cool, just like seeing those guys and seeing that like if these are like real
Jeez.
people. It's not like you know, it's not just like they're like these TV figures. I feel like a lot of people think of, but
Yeah.
they're real people. Yeah.
Is it kind of cool to get past that point to where you're not really a fan anymore and you're one of the guys? Is that kind of cool?
Yeah, it is cool. I mean, it kind of also goes in with like the practice stuff too. Like when you come in as a freshman, at least you're kind of like big eyes. You're kind of like, wow, like all these guys like Ohio State like players. You kind of think of them as gods and that like the best football players ever. And you get there and you're like, okay, these are actually just normal people that play football just like I do. So I mean, it's
Yeah.
kind of like you kind of like finally realize that it's not like that crazy, I guess.
Yeah, so who is the coolest guy you've met so far? Like which guy was really just the coolest to sit down and talk with?
Like graduated or like player right now?
Just anybody so far that like has really been cool to be around that like is a mainstream person, somebody like, that already gets minutes and everybody would know.
Yeah, probably Thayer Munford. Been the starting left. This will be his 4th year, I think, starting at left tackle, and he's kind of like a big brother to me. He's like he always like helped me out with my plays and like drills and stuff, and he'll probably be like a 1st or a 2nd round pick next year. So like getting like one-on-one coaching daily from someone like that is kind of just like it's a really cool opportunity to have.
Have you got to spend any time with Wyatt Davis? I know you kind of talked that you had met him and stuff, but have you got to spend a lot of time with him?
Not really. He came in for the pro day. He came and watched a couple spring practices, but he kind of just quiet dude. Kind of just hangs out, observes. Yeah, I haven't really gotten to talk to him like a bunch one-on-one though, or like hang out with him. But he seems like a cool dude.
Yeah, so many of those guys that are headed to the NFL draft, like Justin Fields and excuse me, like Wyatt Davis and all of them, are they still living on campus or do they go back home? How does all that work out?
I don't know, honestly. I think that Justin still lives here. A lot of them went to California for a little bit, but I think they're back now. I'm pretty sure. I don't know where Wyatt lives. Wyatt's been all around. I know Josh lives here. Josh Myers, our center, or past center. I'm pretty sure he still lives here. I feel like most of them do, but some of them probably did go home. I feel like I would at least, I guess.
Right.
So, Buck, you got any questions, buddy?
Yeah, so Wyatt's kind of been giving you some softball questions here, Zen, but now it is time for the men to speak up and actually talk. So like, what is the people that are getting ready that are your age that are getting ready to go to college and compete at the same level at like you are? What is some words of advice that you can give these kids that are getting ready to go into college? Like what was the hardest thing to adjust to besides doing your laundry and finding the cafeteria and other things?
Oh God, get ready. It's a whole different world. Like high school just kind of seemed like looking back at it now. High school was just like a walk in the park. Like you go to 3 workouts a week for like at least on the off season, you have 3 workouts a week. They're like an hour and a half max. Then you have the rest of the week. You have like 4 days off to do whatever, like go lift or whatever. But gosh, like as soon as you get on campus, like there's no more this recruiting like fictional wonderland. It's like you're in it and it's like it's time to go. Like you can't just like I would just say just go into it mentally prepare for suffering. Like all your limits that you thought you had that they no longer have limits. The coaches are going to determine your limits.
Right.
I mean, like just I just be prepared. Honestly, it's totally different.
Yeah, so one thing from the high school level to the college level is that at the high school level, people tell you how hard they like how hard I can push you, like what I can say to you at the college level, especially at the Power 5 Division 1 level. The coaches are gods there. Like, let's just be flat out honest. The coaches make the rules. They are the the judge, jury, executioner type of thing. Have you had any problems with any coaches yet? Have you guys not seen eye to eye on a few things or anything?
No, I've got a really open mind about everything. even if I did have like a different view on something, definitely I'm not gonna bring it up to him. I'm just gonna go with whatever he says. Just
Right.
like get through the day, honestly.
Yes. So one of the biggest things for like me was like my transitional period was like when like during the recruitment process, you were put up on this pedestal saying like you are the best. We want you to like come here, and then once you get there, you get shoved back down to the bottom, saying we don't want you, but you need us to like the roles totally reverse. Did you get any type of feeling of that when you went to Ohio State?
Not. I mean, sorta. I don't know how to explain it here. Like, I think it's a very unique thing to Ohio State, at least. But like, as soon as you get here, you're not labeled as anything. You're not a freshman. You're not like a mid-year. You're not like like everyone is on equal ground. You're on like
Right.
equal expectations, which is extremely difficult to have like the same expectations as like a fourth-year senior or a fifth-year senior that's been starting for 3 years, and just to come in and like everything has to be perfect and like it's not like you don't get put down on stuff for being like a freshman and stuff, but coach, for example, Coach Stud expects like me and Ben to perform and like have the same level of like not experience, but just like football IQ or like just skill and athleticism as like all these other guys. And it's tough for sure, yeah. But like I haven't had anything yet where it's been like I feel like I've been shoved down just like a younger new guy, but
Right.
it's definitely tough.
Yeah. So a few key things that I'm going to pull out from what you said there is football IQ. Are they teaching you like how to look for certain things and like teach you football IQ, or is this kind of self taught?
Oh no, it's they. Oh God, Coach Stud definitely teaches us football IQ, just like how to read. Like I swear to God, I feel like I can read coverages and a certain level now, but like it's still like spinning around my head, but like just like knowing when people are gonna blitz or like just being able to tell where a lineman is gonna go or stunt just off of like where his hand or his foot is or like just how he's angled or where he's lined up at or like how like a corner in the safety stack the corner is gonna blitz or like just a bunch of stuff like that or if like there's one high like there's just a bunch of different things that he's taught us and it's definitely helping a lot, but I'm still like not where I want to be at with it. There's still so much stuff I gotta take in.
Right. So just some words of advice is like once things click, they will become so easy for you. But the problem is, it just takes time for it to click and like adjust, and then it's like it is all gravy train with that. With that being said, how big is your guys' offensive playbook? Like do you have a hard copy of it? Like, is it a couple inches thick?
Um, actually,
I don't think you're supposed to be showing this in. Don't show.
I'm not gonna open it up, but like, so this is just the summer stuff.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, that's just the
And
what?
Summer.
this is just the summer stuff, and this is
Oh.
just for offensive line. So like,
Oh
see,
Jesus
like
Christ!
a gauge of that is like, I don't know, like it's a couple inches thick
Yeah.
of
Oh
stuff.
my God!
But once you like, a lot of it is just building on itself. So like, once you get it down, it's not like, I think right now where we are in installations, I only have like a couple of like at least run plays that I'm not really 100% on. But a lot of the stuff that's hard comes from like remembering all the different like blitzes. I swear they make us memorize like every possible blitz, and we have to have a name for it.
Yeah.
We have to identify it and know when it's coming. Like how to like effectively like neutralize the blitz. Like it's a twist or something, just knowing like when to bump or like counting off guys and stuff like that so much. That's probably where I started with the most is just pass pro is so difficult.
Yeah, I mean, just passing in college level to the high school level, it is a huge change, right? Because you actually have to give your quarterback some protection because he just isn't bigger and better than like everybody else and just can like outrun anything. With that being said, I'm from the defensive side of the ball, and like all of our play calls were synchronized to separate on certain parts of the field. So like let's say we called like a tangle twist sky blue, zig green, right? So like that basically tells the left side of the line they do this, the right side of the line they do this, these certain corners do this, and this. Are you guys' play calls much of the same? Like, do you have offensive line play calls and then the actual play call itself, or is it all universal?
Sometimes. Well, actually, no. I guess it is very different because it depends. Because pass pro, like you make it a base call or a mash call or something like that. But like run blocking, like there's like 4 different types of blocks, at least for us. So like if we're like you have 5 offensive linemen, say like you're going left, so like the first block, if you have like a tight end and a tackle, and that like double team, if you're like double teaming the end up to a back or something, that'd be like a Ted call. You have to say that, or if the tight end's leaving, he has to like tell you he's like gone, or like if it's a like guard tackle, it's a gut. If it's a guard center, it's a cage. If it's a backside guard center, it's a ass. If it's a backside guard tackle, it's a B block, and then if it's like a backside tackle tight end, it's like a TT or something, or like a C block. Or, I don't know. There's like so many different things on different plays that the calls will change. So it's just I guess it is kind of like that.
Why is your head spinning yet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's wild. I'm listening to this, but hey, Zen, I wanted to give you a chance here. We've got a couple of fans asking some questions. Stacy asks, I love ramen. Do you strain them or leave in the juice? Very important question.
Yeah, leave the juice in. It's not ramen without juice.
Exactly. I told you, Stacy. I told you.
Oh, y'all leave the juice in?
100%.
What do you mean? You gotta leave it. It's like taking the juice out of chicken noodle soup. That's just like strange.
No, it's not.
I believe that is a Class C misdemeanor in Ohio if you drain the juice off of the ramen.
Not even like why. I don't even know why she did. I knew that they didn't like it as soon as they called the juice. It's like broth.
Yeah.
It's salt water. It's not broth.
It's still the second greatest part of the ramen. Let's just be honest.
Oh my god. But the next one here says, this is Drew. He says, Zen, if anybody asks, I will deny it, but you are the only guy I will ever root for on the Buckeyes. So there you go. So you've got some fans there. Looking here at some other stuff. Buck, did you get any?
Yeah. So one of the biggest question here is that the spring game is April 17th, right? So just a week away. Have you been assigned a team yet? Are you going to be Crimson or on the white team?
Scarlet or gray?
Scarlet. You haven't guessed.
Yeah, they haven't assigned us. They haven't assigned us yet, but they did just announce today that they are allowing I guess 19,000 capacity, and the tickets are only like $5. So that's kind of cool.
Well, I can tell you, I'm going to do everything in my power to be there. I already have a babysitter lined up, so I'm pretty excited to get up there.
I hope I get in. I mean, it'd be exciting, but I'm like the 3rd string left tackle right now, so I don't know how they're going to do it, but it'd be pretty dope if I did get to get in on it.
All right. So, any closing thoughts before we let Zen go get back to his homework?
Yeah, no, I was going to bring up this comment real quick. Tori called you a freshman.
Freshman.
So you got you at the freshman card. No. So the final question for you, we had Trey Kaufman on earlier. I wanted to ask you the same thing I asked him that I closed off with. Everybody's end goal in college, of course, is to win a national title. But if you could just give me like 3 goals that you have for yourself, whether it be as a player, for your team, whatever it is, just your 3 biggest goals while you're at Ohio State, what are they other than winning a national title?
Well, obviously I want to win the Big Ten every year. I mean, I feel like we do that anyways. But
that means crushing Wisconsin and destroying Michigan by 85 points.
Exactly.
Yes, just throwing it out there.
Oh my! I've already told you we have so many periods of practice that are dedicated just to killing Michigan things.
Really?
Yes. I think we have a 20-minute period where we just it's solely just running. They're running Michigan's defense versus our offense and stuff. But that obviously I want to start at some point. That would be awesome. And I mean, if I can somehow play in the league, obviously I feel like it's everyone's dream, but that'd be pretty sick.
So Zen, how are you going to feel when I take the Indiana Hoosiers defensive coordinator job and I blitz you every play, and I know that you have trouble blocking on the inside. I'm going to send 2 guys on the inside gap every time. How are you going to stop that?
We'll figure something out. We'll have 14 we'll have running backs back there or something.
Yeah.
For blocking, or just run counter the other way. I don't know.
Yeah. Just hey, I am a mastermind on the defense, so good luck with that. Anything you can do, I can do better, right? No, I'm totally kidding. Zen,
we appreciate you being on, big guy.
Wish you nothing but the best, and hopefully we can see you here in a few weeks.
Absolutely.
Thank you. I'll be back in town in a couple of weeks, but I'll see you guys.
All right.
All right, see you, man.
All right, man. So, guys, that is Zen. Still a very, very humble individual. So, fun fact, though, guys, is me and Zen talk damn near every day, and he is still the same person that he was his sophomore year. So, it's actually pretty exciting to watch somebody succeed like that.
There's nothing better than whenever athletes don't let anything change them at all. It's just they're the same genuine person always. It's funny, though. I just noticed this, and I completely didn't notice it before, but Trey has a blue check mark on Instagram now. So congratulations, Trey. You're verified on Instagram.
What does
pretty
the blue
cool,
check mark mean? Means you got sent to the principal's office and you're in trouble?
Yeah. No, it's like what famous people get or whatever to verify it's actually their account.
That's cool. I'm verified.
So yeah, you finally got that. You got a blue check mark, Buck?
Yeah, it's like it says under man hour like underscore Buck, and it has a blue check mark next.
Nice. There you go.
No, it's just a black check mark. Is that kind of the same thing?
I think so. I think that's what actually means you're going to the principal's office. I think the black check mark means
it wouldn't be the first time that I've been there. So let me go ahead and bring up this comment here. And Tori says, how come you didn't ask him why he hates me? Tori, we all know the reason why Zen hates you. 1, you are a Wisconsin Badger fan. 2, you are from Wisconsin. And 3, you don't even know his name. That's why he doesn't like you.
Oh.
No, I'm kidding. Zen likes so. Funny story here, Wyatt. I wanted to bring this up when you brought up Zen's high school career. I believe we were playing Jennings County, the team that you brought up, right? Zen got called for a personal foul for blocking somebody too hard. He literally picked this kid up and threw him out of the back of the end zone.
That was B&L. That was B&L.
He got a personal foul for blocking too hard. Yeah. Absolutely ridiculous. But let's go ahead and take a quick little break. We have a next interview coming up. The man, the legend himself, Cobie Barnes. He has finally committed to a different school. Getting excited to talk about that, so we'll talk to him about the whole transfer portal, what led to that decision, and everything else. All that, much more coming up here on the Man Hour, guys. We'll be right back after this.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckeye along with Wyatt Williams here. We've had an interview-filled show today, and we are going to basically have some more interviews on. And we have one of my favorite guests on right now, like Cobie Barnes. Cobie, welcome to the show, man. How have you been doing so far?
What's up? How you doing? How's everybody doing?
We're doing great, man. And I hear you are pretty excited. You've had a great time. You've committed somewhere. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, sir. I committed to John A. Logan, the junior college in Cartersville, Illinois, and I feel like they're gonna have me in the best situation with the best exposure for where I can get to the next level. So.
All right, Wyatt.
Yes, sir. So, Cobie, I saw you posted something about the tournament that John A. Logan is currently in. They just won their semifinal game by 40 points, was it?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Something like that. But what is that tournament?
That's their region tournament. So whenever you're talking about Division I tournaments and stuff, like that's their conference tournament to get their bid into the national tournament, which they would right now. Even if they lost their next game tomorrow, they would still go to the tournament. So
cool. So Kyle Smith Peters is the coach up there, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, kind of just run us through what it's been like to talk with Coach Smith Peters, and just what this whole, I guess you could say, second recruitment has been like.
Coach Smith Peters, he's just one of those guys who keeps it real with you all the time. I know through the first phase of my recruiting, I wanted to go somewhere where I heard everything I liked. And he kept it 100% honest with me the whole time. He said, I'm not going to promise you a starting spot, 15 shots a game, and playing 40 minutes because it's just not going to happen. He said, I promise you an opportunity to come in and do whatever you can, and you'll get the best exposure you can, and you'll play against high-level players every day in practice and every time you step on the floor. So
Absolutely. So, have you been up there and toured everything?
I went up there Saturday. Yeah, this past Saturday before Easter, and I went up, watched them practice, talked to one of my friends is already on the team right now, and he's gonna be coming back next year. And I got to talk to everybody, talk to all the coaches, and just see what they call it the Logan way there. So just see what the Logan way is all about, really.
Awesome. So, whenever you look at this program, they are known for, of course, bringing in guys who want that second opportunity. Jay Scrub is a name I want to mention. A guy currently playing in the league, went to John A. Logan. Of course, you want to follow in those footsteps and go to the league. So, have you talked to Coach Smith Peters about the process of what that's like to, go to John A. Logan and then transfer somewhere else?
Oh, for sure. I wanted to make sure I was going somewhere where I could get to a Georgetown, a USC, Oregon, a place like that, and they know everybody in the nation. And it's not like you're going there with the off chance of maybe going high major or going back to mid level. If you go there and you perform and do what you're supposed to do, you're going to be going to one of the high major schools. And I talked to Jay Scrub a lot. We trained together before we trained the same guy back whenever I was home. And he told me, if you're gonna go, don't go thinking that it's gonna be some bull. They expect pros and they want pros, so you're gonna be pushed and you're gonna get a lot of the best that you can get. So I was like, man, that sounds like exactly what I want. I want to go. I want to be a pro. So hopefully
Absolutely.
I'm gonna put that work in, and hopefully they can just help me get there.
Yeah, so you you talked to us a couple of days ago, about a week ago, about how the process was going with the transfer and all that. Um, so you mentioned Western Michigan and you mentioned Georgetown were some teams that had shown some interest. What kind of turned you, or not necessarily, I don't want to say turned you away, but what made you choose John A. Logan over them? Was there something that along the way that you decided this is a better fit? What was that?
It's gonna be if I were to go to a school like Georgetown right now, I would have to I would have to go in and really reprove myself to everybody that I'm that type of player. I can play on this level. And going to Western Michigan, I mean, I felt like that was a solid option. But because one of my old AU coaches ended up going up there and has a coaching job up there. But if I were to go to one of the higher level schools right now, uh, I feel like it'd be extremely hard for me to get the trust of all the guys and all the players and the coaches and all that because I didn't have a great year statistically at Indiana State. So if I went up to somewhere like that, they'd be like, "Well, what did you do?" And I would have to kind of just show that I'm that player. And if I went to Logan, then I would be able to showcase that throughout the whole year, and I wouldn't just be here. I'm giving you a chance. It would be like we want you to come to our school. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
So you have, is it 2 years left of eligibility?
after this, after my year at Logan, I'll have 2 years of eligibility left. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So have you kind of, I know you mentioned that they have connections all around the country. Have you kind of told Coach Smith Peters, like, hey, these are some of the schools, like I know, of course, everybody listening, I'm not saying that, this is the school, but let's say you wanted to go to Oklahoma. Do you go to Coach Smith Peters and say, hey, look, I want to go to Oklahoma. Can you help set that up? Have you had that conversation yet with whatever school it may be that you're wanting to go to after this?
I mean,
And
of
him
course,
kind of start setting it up.
I haven't had him start setting it up yet, but I've talked to him. I've talked to the assistants, and that's how I kind of figured out that they know everybody in the country, because I was like, who do you know in each of like the high major conferences? And they were saying all the schools that I wanted to go to, and I hadn't told them any of the schools I wanted to go to yet. So, yeah. So, I thought that was kind of cool that they were able to do that, even without uh really me telling them anything. So.
Yes. So one of the biggest questions that I want to ask, and kind of get the full story, just so the people that are new here and I don't know your full story. You started your high school career at Floyd Central. You graduated in what, 2019, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So on your first recruitment process, what schools were interested in you going to their school, like at that time?
I had like 15 or 16 offers, I want to say. And the most notable ones, I mean, of course, Indiana State, Belmont. I had interest from a lot of the high major schools. I had interest from IU, Purdue, Butler, really all the schools in Indiana. I was talking to one of the guys at Illinois, Coach Jeff Alexander, I want to say. He
Here we
was
go.
one of my...
I pulled up the offers list. So we got Indiana State, we got Evansville, Miami of Ohio, and then Butler was involved, IU was involved, and then a bunch of other schools.
So
it's an awesome list, man.
So out of those lists of schools, you picked Indiana State. What ultimately drew you to Indiana State?
It just felt like home. Whenever talking to Coach Lansing, talking to the staff, they sounded like they had everything was the right intentions for me and my career heading forward. And I mean, it just ended up to we just didn't fit with each other. It wasn't any bad blood or anything. It just was, I guess, wrong place, wrong time, maybe.
Right. Yeah. Like I committed to a school and I was there for 6 months. I was like, this is not the place for me. This is not all the rainbow and like unicorns that like they were offering me, and like I just wasn't happy, and it affected my performance on the field. Do you think you you not being comfortable at Indiana State affected your performance this season?
I'm not really. I don't really like to say blame outside. I'm not saying blame, but I don't really like to put that on outside factors. I feel like I didn't perform. I mean, I was on the floor, and to me, my mom especially always told me, if you're gonna go out and play, then you got to go play. You can't let anything else outside of basketball, or if you're hurt or anything like that.
Yeah,
you're playing. People didn't come here to hear about you be hurt. So
right. I mean, yeah, like injuries is a part of a part of everything. And if you aren't injured toward the end of the season, like you aren't playing the game, right? Like that's kind of how I take it. But once you entered your name into the transfer portal, how quickly did teams get in contact with you to say, hey, come check out our school, or were you the one doing the reaching out?
It was the same day. I had some schools hitting me up, within a couple hours, and
wow.
I was talking to a couple schools within a couple hours. So it was real cool.
So you committed to a school. They're the Volunteers, right?
Yes, sir.
So first things first, have you got any merchandise yet? Like, are you supporting a brand new team T-shirt, some sneakers, some sweats?
No, not yet. I was gonna go up. I need to go back down and get some, honestly, because I I like wearing what I rep. So
Right. Yeah. Yes.
I need some stuff.
So like you see me like I still wear my college stuff like all the freaking time just because for one it is super
Hmm.
comfortable and just like I'm proud to put it like on my back. With that being said, when you go there, what brand are they sponsored by? Are they Adidas? Are they Nike? Or are they Converse? Like who are they?
Converse.
They're
Oh,
Nike, and I'm an Adidas guy. I've always been an Adidas guy, so
Oh
it's gonna be
man.
weird switching over to Nike. But
Welcome to the good
this year,
side.
these past 2 years, I had to wear Under Armour.
Whoa,
I don't know if
Nike
it's a
is the
good side. I
best
mean,
brand
in
out
my
there.
car right now, right now I have in my car I have a pair of Yeezys, a pair of Damian Lillard shoes, and a pair of James Harden's all right here.
which ones do you hoop in?
These are my all-time favorite shoes right here.
The Dame
All-time favorite
shoes?
basketball shoes. Yeah. I
What
wore
what's
these
the
my
name of
senior
them?
year. These are the Lillard 2s, 2.0. I got them in black and green. I got them for my AAU team, and I wore them my senior year, for my junior and senior year for
I might
home
have to give me a
games
pair of
my
those. Maybe
junior
I'll be
year.
able to dunk too.
Probably
Hey.
not white. You have to be over 6 foot to even think about that. But Colby, one of the coolest things that like I got the opportunity to do was go into the equipment room and basically pick what shoes that I wanted to wear for practice. Granted, the game shoes like you had to wear white. That is just the way that that is just the way it is on the football field. But on the basketball court, do you get an opportunity to pick your shoes and kind of have your own style and swag out there, or are you guys all black shoes or white shoes or gray?
At Indiana State, we all had it was like a set rule, but at Logan, they said they're gonna give me like 3 or 4 pairs of shoes. But they said if you have a pair of shoes that you can go get 30 and 20 in, then by all means, you can wear those shoes. So they're not really strict on it.
So they don't have to be the brand that like just like the school
Uh,
reps or
I'm gonna talk to them about it because if I can wear these, you're gonna catch me in these.
Are
yeah,
you gonna get a new pair though before you? Or are you gonna wear the same ones?
I'm gonna wear them till I can't wear them anymore. For
exactly.
Well,
sure.
you're gonna Zion Williamson those things, man. Blow the side out of them. You've worn them for what? Did you say three seasons now?
I had I had to get a new pair going into my senior year. These are my new pair that I got going into my senior year.
Is the
So,
tread still good on them?
oh yeah, I'm telling you, it's the best shoe ever. If you need a pair of basketball shoes, go on eBay. Like I don't know if you can see, but
Yeah.
there you go.
Oh yeah, it looks good.
I'm telling you.
So let's go ahead and stay on the realm of the shoes, just because uh, I come from a college athlete, just as myself, and finding the right shoe to fit you was very very hard. So I actually had to go put my shoes in like this heat tank thing and like let it form to my foot, or I'll get blisters out the crazy. Do you have to like do that, or do you have that special foot size where those dames just fit good?
I feel like those just fit good, but I also have a pair of custom insoles that I put in a lot of my shoes, so that it's people talk about breaking in shoes. I usually never have to because all the insole I wear the same insoles for all of them,
Right.
and I take the ones that are already in there out. So I just
So
rock them and go.
so since you are wearing the Dame shoes, are you saying your game is like Dame's, or are you better than Dame?
Uh, if I can be as good as Damian Lillard, I'll make a lot of money one day. Let's just say that.
Well, you are on your way there 100%, man. Like, I am super happy for you that, like, like you got the opportunity to go the JUCO route. I went the JUCO route and would like as well, and that was the best decision of my life, 100%. Not because of the playing time, it was just the experiences that I had there. And like JUCO is like you are on a proving ground. Do you think that you are going to prove yourself, like prove that worth there, and make these Kentucky and Indiana and Louisville open their eyes, like, man, we really missed on this kid?
Yes, sir. That's the plan. I've got an edge on my shoulder or a chip on my shoulder and playing like I have something to prove again. I mean, I feel like coming out of high school, I was under recruited, and I just got something to prove.
So
So
what?
Cobie,
Go ahead.
or go ahead.
Go ahead,
So,
Wyatt.
so I had a big question for you here. This one's way off topic, but I was just scrolling through the comments here and I couldn't find it. But a fan earlier asked, and it's a big dilemma we had earlier. Do you like your ramen strained or with the juice in it?
I personally am not a ramen guy, but I know a lot of people like their ramen with the juice in it.
With the
So
juice, my man.
if I were
There we
to do
go.
it, I would probably eat it with the juice.
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
man.
That is the only way to eat it. Well, speaking of food, what is your favorite food? Just so people can, when you arrive on campus there in Illinois, they can go and take you out for like food. Like, what's your favorite place to eat?
I like steak a lot. A nice ribeye and some cheese fries and some broccoli. Whew. Beating my
That
heart
sounds
right
like a
there. If
Texas
anybody listening.
Roadhouse hangout there, 100%, right?
If I go to Texas Roadhouse, I'm gonna get the applesauce though. Their applesauce is crazy.
Yeah, they like
Imagine
they like.
we sitting there with a ribeye and some applesauce, just chowing down.
Have
on
you
some
not had their
applesauce.
applesauce? Why? Like they put like
Applesauce
some
is
like
ridiculous.
yeah they like put some like brown
Has to be
sugar on
something like crack.
on
It
top
has to
of
be
it.
something.
Man, it is applesauce. There, is just
No, I've
amazing.
never had their applesauce, but I'll tell you what. Now, if everybody's saying I got to try this applesauce, I've got to go try this applesauce now. I guess.
All right,
I-
It's like crack.
it's better than crack. Well, maybe. Who knows? So, it's why any closing thoughts before like Cobie get back to some training?
Yeah, so this was the same question that I proposed to Trey Kaufman, who was on at the beginning of the show, and Zen Michalski was on right before you. Hey, you're heading to John A. Logan. Of course, I said the same thing to them. Of course, everybody's goal is to win, a title, right? Before you leave college, what are, your three biggest goals at this moment that you want to accomplish, that other than winning a national title?
So personal awards or personal
Sure.
accolades. Personally, I want to be my conference player of the year. I want to be wherever I end up. I want to be in 1,000-point club, and I want to have a winning percentage of over, let's say 80. Yeah, over 80.
Nice. Hey, did you see that shot right there? They're at the
That was
Yum
my
Center.
first-
Look at these
I'll
highlights, guys.
remember that
Look at this shot. Corner 3 in Yum Center.
I remember that basket forever. That was my first college bucket.
That was your first college bucket?
Listen,
God.
the people here in like Southern Indiana were going crazy after that game because you scored like 15 points that game, right, or something.
It was my first game or my second game. First game I got substantial minutes and I scored 6 points. By substantial I mean I got like 12 minutes.
Yeah.
I had 6
Okay.
points and like 4 rebounds or something like that.
But either way, it was against a hometown team, right? And people were. It was like I was still new in this area, just like at that time, and like people were like Kobe Barnes. I'm like, who is this kid? And then I was like, wow, okay, I see you, right? So, but yeah.
No, my first game calling a basketball game was Floyd Central in Madison, I believe it was, and Kobe had a dunk in that game, and I don't remember who it was on. I think it was on a kid by the last name of Welsh. I could be completely incorrect on that one. But man, Cobie just went up and just jammed on this dude and hung there for a second. They came back down, and I still have the clip
Oh, get
recorded
up
on my
there,
phone
Cobie.
of calling.
Finish that hard.
Yeah, I
Okay.
still have the clip on my phone of me broadcasting that moment. But I remember when you went to
I remember that play.
I remember when you went to play at Louisville. I was in Becky's office the day of, and Sturgeon walked in, and Sturgeon and Becky both were kind of talking for a second about how they were going to the game that night. I know Sturgeon went. I don't remember if Becky went or not, but I remember everybody around the school went to that game that night to watch the Cobie Barnes, the former Highlander, play at the Yum Center. It was a really cool moment for us to see, but I can only imagine for you, what was that like to play at the Yum Center?
I mean, it was great. The Yum Center to me it's got to be a top 5 for atmosphere in the nation, especially whenever it gets packed and gets
Oh
going.
yeah.
And that was their first like real home game, I think. And I feel like that, like just playing in front of everybody, and it felt like it was a home game for me. I mean, for my teammates, it didn't feel like a home game, but for me, it was like I had 200 people there came and watched me just to come watch me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was nice. It was amazing to really just know that everybody still appreciates me and everybody still rocks with me. I mean, I know you hear it all the time, but like being able to see it is to me is a lot better than hearing it, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, definitely
Absolutely.
understand exactly what you're saying there, man. So thank you for joining us. Enjoy your time over there in Illinois. What city is that again? Just for my memory.
In Cartersville, it's 5 minutes away from Carbondale.
5 minutes from Carbondale. Okay. We might. Why? I think we're gonna have to road trip and go catch a few games there this next year.
Rally it together. Give me some peanut M&Ms and a cherry Coke. I'm ready for any road trip you got. Some barbecue chips.
Let me know.
Let's do it.
I'll get you some tickets. Let me know.
Definitely, man.
Hey, you send them to us. We'll be there.
All right, man. Thank you for joining us. As always, Cobie, have a great night. Enjoy your rest of your college career, and don't do anything I wouldn't do.
Yes, sir.
All right. You have a good night, man.
See you, Cobie.
See it.
All right, guys. Cobie Barnes, a former Floyd Central Highlander here, former Indiana State. I think they're the Sycamores, right? Sycamore. Can you say it? Sycamore.
Sick, like you're sick. Sycamore.
But it's SEY. So wouldn't it be Sycamore?
No, it's not. It's SY.
Oh, whatever.
It's
So, oh wow.
I think it was Sycamore.
I graduated high school with, D means diploma. No, I'm totally kidding. But spelling is definitely not my strong sport, Wyatt, or strong spot, I should say, Wyatt. So, man, Cobie, another great interview, Wyatt. I mean, wow, like he is still like he's a very humble kid. These Southern Indiana kids are all humbled, and this is a Southern Indiana packed show. And we do have another Southern Indiana kid coming up here on the other side of the break. Who do we got coming up next?
Oh, Mr. 18, Mr. Coop Dog.
Mr. Double.
I'm super excited. I am very excited to talk to him about that. Like I said, I went up there and watched their state championship game, and it was a day full of a lot of emotions. It was really cool. I called too many to count Silver Creek games. So Silver Creek. I went to elementary in Sellersburg and all that stuff. So I grew up with most of those guys. Me and Kooper went to elementary school together. I've known Trey since we were, little kids. So it was a really cool day. It was a lot of emotions. Really cool to see my guys pull through and win a state title. They have a special place in my heart forever.
So before we head to break, give the people a little bit of background of Kooper, of where he is committed to play his basketball career.
Yeah, so Coop is going to Toledo. That's where he'll be headed at the end of the year. He's a senior, of course, going to graduate, of course, here soon, as all of us have not graduated yet, but we're ready to. But anyways, he's headed to Toledo to play basketball there, and then wherever basketball and life takes him after that.
All right, guys, so we are going to take a quick little break. On the other side of the break, we got Mr. Double himself in state championship game, Kooper Jacobi, right after the break, guys. We'll be right back after this on the Man Hour. welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckeyes along with Wyatt Williams tonight. Brandon Combs is out dealing with some family issues, so definitely keep him in the thoughts and your prayers if you guys would with him tonight. He'll be back with us coming Sunday here. But Wyatt, before we bring Kooper, Jacobi on, Mr. Double-Double himself in the state finals game here, I want to bring up some of his highlight tape here. This is a sectional game. I believe it was this year, and you can tell just by way he warms up. He is a leader, a vocal leader on that team. Very, very, very he seemed to be the X factor on this team, right, Wyatt?
Oh, absolutely. There's a lot of really great players that Silver Creek team. Excuse me. D1 talent all over the place. But Kooper is an incredible leader and an incredible player. I'm really excited to get him on here. I'm excited to ask him about this 18-18 that he had in this state title game, which is got to be the greatest state title performance I think that I have ever seen in my life. Yeah. It's up there, I think, all time for state final performances. It is way up there.
Well, Wyatt, we do have him smiling ear to ear backstage, Mr. Double-Double himself. Let's go ahead and welcome Kooper to the show here. Kooper, what's going on, man?
Hey guys, nothing much. How are you?
We are great.
Pretty good, man.
You're great.
Awesome. So I won't waste any time. I mean, I'm just gonna hit it right out of the gate. Okay, Mr. 18. That's all I need to say.
Mr. 18.
Wow. That is all I'm gonna say. What was that like? I mean, I asked, we had Trey on at the beginning of the show, and I asked him, I was like, did he eat anything different that morning? Was there, he said you ate a ham and cheese sandwich. Is that what you ate?
Yeah, I had a Subway sandwich before the game.
And that's exactly what he said. $5 foot long.
Yeah. Did you put anything different in the ham and cheese sandwich, or is it just?
Nope, basic sandwich.
Buck asked earlier, you get mayo? Do you get mayo on your sandwich?
We didn't. They were provided, so we had no mayo, no sauce.
No sauce. Cool. All right.
A dry ham sandwich.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh
wow.
Gosh.
Wow. Okay.
Well, I mean, I guess
you are
a
different breed,
though.
right there off the just right up there off the bat.
Yeah, I guess.
Cooper's built different, but anyways, so 18 rebounds. Did they tell you, was that a record in the state finals game? Was that at least top 5? I mean, it was impressive.
Yeah, I thought it was cool after, but then I looked, and I think I could be wrong. I think someone had 19 the game before.
19?
I think Kurt Hoff or Caleb, not Caleb, but I could have saw it wrong. But I could be wrong, but I feel like I saw it and I was, kind of excited, and then I saw the next day someone had better, but I could be wrong. But
somebody at 19, still nonetheless, okay,
yeah.
If it was Kurt or if it was Caleb first, they are 5s, okay? You play the 3 and the 2 primarily, so for a 3, that 18 rebounds though, that was incredible.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, so go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, it was cool. I didn't know much about the stats till after, but story our coach said one thing the other team was focusing on the whole week, and was said the X factor was the rebounding. He had heard one of the coach's interviews or something, and he said that I think they'd averaged like 34, and we averaged 35. So he said that was the biggest thing. So I knew going into the game that that was going to be the difference. So I didn't really change my mentality from different games, but in the back of my mind, I knew that rebounding was a big deal.
Absolutely. So, you close it off and you get one of the highest honors in the state, in my opinion, which is overlooked often. But you get the Mental Attitude Award, and 100% well deserved. I gotta say, not to toot my own horn or anything, I actually predicted it before. I said before the game, I said, I bet you Coop gets the Mental Attitude Award. So what was that like? Your mom and your dad got to come out to center floor at Banker's Life. You got a nice plaque. What was that like?
It was pretty cool experience, and awesome to, I was too excited that we had won. I didn't really come to mind until they said my name, because I think it was they voted on it between the two teams. So I was I didn't know if I won it or not, but I knew
Yeah.
that we had to early in the week we had to fill something out for it. But I think it was awesome to hear my name called. But as I was celebrating as a team and just talking to all the guys, and then when I saw my parents from a distance, I was like, oh, okay, I guess I won it. But honestly, just really grateful and blessed. God gave us this opportunity and allowed me to win that award. Was a cool thing, cool honor.
Absolutely. So, heading into the game, you guys had already won a state title in 2019. This was the second one.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked Trey this question, and this was before the state title game. I asked him which one was sweeter, which one did he enjoy more, and now I'll propose the same question to you. It's cool you win one. The first one they always say is the best, but also closing off your high school career, closing off the senior year with that state title is huge as well. So after being in both moments, which one was sweeter?
Yeah, I would say the first one. The first one, I think, after the game, just the surprise of winning after the first game, I think it felt a lot. They were both great, and I'm so thankful, like I've said already, that God allowed us to win both. But I'd say the first one was better, just because I think the first one was we were coming into that game, and I'm pretty sure one of the coaches said earlier this season, I had no idea, but that he could have been wrong because it sounded a little far fetched, but he said we were favored to lose, the other team was favored by 26. Our
In that first state title game?
In the first state title game. That's what he
Wow, I
said.
didn't even know that.
I didn't either. So us winning, I guess, was complete underdog. But that was honestly when I was going in, I was just glad to be there. I didn't know if we were, gonna win or not. But so I think that's what made it so much sweeter when we won, is that we were kind of underdogs. In this game, it was kind of, or the game happened last week was kind of, it was my senior year, and I knew it was, the last game, but still, we were kind of expected to win, and we were you know, the better team. So we were, they were probably, I'd say, the underdog. So it still felt awesome, and we had to play really hard. It wasn't going to be easy, only one by one anyway. But overall, I'd say that the first one felt better. But
Yeah, so after that, a lot of people have made huge arguments for you, and I agree 100% that you signed your ticket to the Indiana All-Star game or whatever it is for high school players. Do you think that game was what signed the ticket, or do you think that, what game do you think would have signed you that before, or do you think it was a joint thing? Because at this point, if you don't make the Indiana All-Star team, I'm going to be very upset, Kooper, and I will be writing to them about how Mr. 18 deserves in.
yeah, I don't know really how it works. I'd be glad to make that team. It'd be an awesome accomplishment, but I don't know how they judge it on. Maybe the 18. I'm not for sure, but we have workout this weekend. I think that's the last thing before they make the official All-Star team. But I'm not for sure if that 18 in the state. I know they do base it on your postseason success. So I hope that helps. But I'm just excited to see who makes the team and hopefully make it. But whatever happens, happens. So we'll see.
Yeah. So you essentially at the moment, it looks like, may have shared the floor with Trey and really everybody, of course, for the final time. What has it been for you to be a part of this ride, to be a part of Silver Creek basketball?
It's it's been really cool, and I'm very fortunate to play on such a great team with so many guys. Like you said, not a lot of high school players get to play with maybe two or three, Division I players in their career. So of course I'm blessed to have the awesome teammates, and other than not just our Trey and Brandon, but our other guys were super good, awesome. I mean, they would be very good on the other teams around. But from Isaac and Trey, Shane, Nolan, and Hayden and Zach, they were huge. They made huge plays, and we couldn't have done it without them. So even though we had some guys that could play in college, our other guys were a huge part of it too. And also our community. I always go back to them. I'm so thankful that they were able to show up to all the games, and they really supported, even though fans was different because of COVID. It meant a lot for all the people of Silver Creek. I think, like you said last time, just the support is huge, and the coaches, they put so much time and effort in scouting and every game, and then leaving time for the family. So I'm thankful that God let me play at Silver Creek for 4 years. But it was an awesome ride.
Absolutely. So, talking about many of the things you were fortunate for, playing in Banker's Life, of course, is one of those.
Mm-hmm.
What was that like to play on the floor that guys like LeBron James have played on? You've guys that are in the NBA, professional basketball players. How cool is that to kind of walk out on the floor for the first time and look around and be like, wow, like I'm on the same court as some of the greatest athletes in the world.
Mm-hmm. It's actually pretty interesting. It's high school, just not just the atmosphere, but just when you're the perception with the goal. It's not a big deal for college and NBA players because they're doing that every night. But for a high school player, once you go to Banker's Life, at least for me, it's especially since we didn't get to practice. We didn't get that day before to practice before state, but the court and looking is a little different when you start playing and the lights are really bright. That was the first thing I noticed my sophomore year when I got on the court, was the lights were really bright. It took a minute to get used to them.
Yeah.
So I think just the overall, not just the atmosphere, but the look of the whole arena and the lights just make it not just like if we play at Seymour, it's a big place, one of the biggest high schools in Indiana, but it still doesn't have that same feeling as Banker's Life did. So it was an awesome arena to play in.
Absolutely. Buck, you got any questions, buddy?
Yeah, sorry, I had my on mute there just because I was awing about those highlights there, and I was saying some some like choice words. But one of the biggest things that is happening here in Indiana is obviously the Hoosiers got a new coach, and you had a great postseason run, possibly one of the best postseason performances just out there. Have there been any other schools to contact you to maybe try to sway you from the commitment that you already had to go to their school?
No, there's not been. No other coaches.
So would you be open to possibly going to a Power 5 school if that opportunity came?
Maybe in the future, if that was an opportunity, I'd probably think about. Everyone wants to pay at that type of level at one point, in college. But for me, I'm just getting ready, now for Toledo and getting to play with a great group of guys and a great conference is, my goal now is to prepare for that and to get ready to play at that next level, because mid-major, high major, there may be a difference when you look at the at the tournament, but in the end, it's college basketball,
right?
And they still there's still so many upsets. So for me, it is cool to think about maybe do that in the future, but right now, just looking forward to play in college at Toledo.
Yeah. So after watching the March Madness tournament this season, we saw the parity in college basketball from top to the very, very low teams. You are going to a Toledo team that very few people know much about, and Wyatt has pretty much basically wrote you guys into the bracket for next year. Do you think
Coop
that
leading the way?
Do you guys think you guys can make a deep run in a NCAA tournament format if you get that opportunity?
I think we could, and I think that was one of the the reasons that when people ask why I choose this school, I think that was one of the top ones, was just their their potential to make the tournament, just because the solid group of guys they have now, and just the coaches and their culture, is a winning culture. So I think, especially with how they did this year and winning the regular season conference, just showed that there's a great group of guys there. So that's the goal. When I get there is to hopefully do we just was able to do in high school. But to go far in the tournament and make the tournament would be an awesome thing. But for me, it's right now it's a goal, and I know that there's a lot of hard work that has to go in it. For me and the team before you can achieve that goal.
Right. So jumping over here into our comments section here, many people are really impressed about how humble you are about the whole situation. You had arguably one of the greatest state championship games that I have ever seen, and you are still thanking your teammates for having a great you're thanking your teammates and your coaches, and you're thanking God, and you never say, you know what, I had a great game. Like, where do you get that from? Is it was it instilled in you from your parents at a very very young age, or was it just being around those players like Trey and Brandon, that kind of makes you stay humble?
I think it's a little bit of both. Just how I was raised, and with the great guys you're with, and when you see just how good they are, I think you realize that you can't do it on your own. So I'd say just how what they've taught me, and what I've learned, whether at church or to the Bible, just about being humble is a big thing for me. But also, like I've said already, once you go and practice and go through all the hard work with the guys, even the games that I did have a good game or I had a bad game, I realized that I couldn't do it on my own. And that we had a couple games where I thought I played solid and we didn't win. So I think when you get that, you realize that all five guys have to play good to win. So I think that's where I get it in the end, is that even if I do have a good game, it's I just did my job and did what my teammates expected me to do. So I think that would be my answer in the end.
So my follow-up question to that, this is kind of a two-parter here. We are having a debate over here on the comments section. When you eat ramen, do you leave the juice in the ramen, or do you drain the juice out?
I usually drain it.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yes, Coop, you're the first person to say that.
Yeah.
All show.
So with that being said, what is your favorite meal? Like if somebody were to take you out to a meal anywhere in the world, money isn't an option, what are you going to eat?
Favorite meal, if I had to go fast food, so I can think now, I'd probably go the buffalo chicken tenders at Culver's, cheese curds, and then a concrete mixer.
Yes, sir.
Cheese curds are what is a concrete mixer? Is that like a milkshake?
I'd probably go.
It's like a Blizzard.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like Blizzard. Probably basic. I'd go Kit Kat or something like that. But that'd be my meal if I had to choose a fast food place, just off the top of my head.
There you go.
We asked what kind of food anybody would take you to, and you choose Culver's buffalo chicken. I like it, man. I like it.
That shows you how humble this kid actually is. It's like I don't care about going to the Cheesecake Factory or like the Longhorn Steakhouse. Give me some Culver's, 100%.
Ruth Chris, none of that stuff, man. No fancy Italian food. Give me the chicken tenders, some buffalo chicken tenders, and some cheese curds and a concrete mixer, a Kit Kat concrete mixer.
Any
Coop is good.
Any sauce on those chicken?
I'm gonna go ranch most of the time.
There you go.
I didn't plan to. I do either.
Yep. There you go. I like it.
So when you get on campus, like first things first, are you going to report in June? Like are you going to do some summer school stuff and like get acclimated, or are you going to report in like August?
End of June. I go for summer session.
Okay, so what is the first thing that you're going to do when you get on campus?
Probably for me, it's going to be meeting the people, because of COVID, I haven't met. I know I've had FaceTimes and texted them a bunch throughout the year.
Right.
We kept a lot in touch about their season and mine throughout the year, but I haven't in person met the coaches or even had a meal with them or anything. So that'll probably be the first thing.
Are you nervous about that? I kind of feel like you are getting married to a person that like you never met. Like this is like 90 day fiance.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be a little weird. I already kind of know him, but thinking about I never shook his hand. It is a kind of a little weird to think about it, but
Can you guys shake
no,
hands?
not too bad.
What are you gonna do if you go to shake the hand and he does a little awkward thing like elbow
bump.
like because of COVID?
Hopefully, it's shaking hands by then.
Yeah.
I don't know if things would change it.
So funny thing is when you bump elbows, do you guys know? Like, do you guys realize that you're actually closer to each other's face if you just like shook their hand? But
Yeah, I don't
Whatever.
know why people do that.
So everybody's got a stigma now. A hand touch. I don't know. That I prefer the good old fashioned handshake, but I can tell you with going around selling ads for Man Hour and stuff, it's such an awkward situation because I was always taught handshake. That is the number one rule that my dad always taught me. You have a firm handshake. You always use your right hand, all that good stuff. And then you go up to these people and you don't know if they're going to elbow. You don't know if they're going to fist bump. You don't know if they're going to shake hands.
Dab 'em up.
You have no clue. You just got to kind of like
just
do what?
Just go dab them up.
There
Boy.
you
Come
go.
on.
Go
There
for
you go.
that.
Just
Get
dab
them
'em up.
good, man. Give them a hug. You never know. I mean, it's wild. But Coop, my final question for you, buddy, before we let you go here. And I asked this to everybody so far on the show. We had Trey at the beginning of the show. We had Zen that's at Ohio State. He's a Floyd Central grad, and then Cobie Barnes. We had him just before you. But the thing that I have, excuse me, the thing that I have for you before we let you go. Everybody's main goal in college is to win a national title. That is number one before all. But other than winning a national title, what are your three biggest goals once you get on campus at Toledo?
My three biggest goals. I'd say my first basketball related would be to get better, as an all around player. First goal is to get better because, I'm going to have to, improve a lot to be able to play, in college. Not, everyone's going to have to improve, but it's a different game. It's going to be quicker and getting your shots out quicker and playing better defense. You're not guarding high school guys every day, but you're guarding a lot better players. So I think first goal is to get there and make all facets of my game, from shooting to defense, getting that better. Second goal, probably school related. I'd probably say would be to start narrowing down. I've kind of decided what I wanted to do, but I haven't really 100% made a decision, what I'm going to major. I think I know what I major in, but what do I want to do in the future? So second goal is to be probably figure out what I'm going to start pursuing once I get there.
And you had those narrowed down to what?
I think I'm going to do something, a math and statistics or actuary, something.
That's
like
over
that.
my head. You're
Yeah.
like you're talking Greek.
Something math related. Second goal, and then third, and you say not the winning, not the national championship. That
No national title. We're making you think hard here, Coop.
I'd say third goal would be to probably to play. When I get there, that'll be freshman year. I know a lot of things can happen. This will be super hard to do, but probably to contribute and make an impact on the team would be my third goal. And to work hard and trust what the coaches have to say and get to where I can impact the team would probably be the third goal.
So
Absolutely.
before we let you go, let's go back to your second goal. Just because first things first is you are the only one that we had on all night that gave a career answer goal. First things first, that shows your maturity. You are a very mature, humble young man. You like you have a goal and you are going to reach for that goal. But like with those two aspects in mind, like you can go one way or the other. Like, what is your end goal? Like what do you want to do in life with those degrees?
I think I want to, if I can play overseas, I think that would be awesome. I know that's far down the road, or for me, 4 years or 5 years, however long I play college is far down. But I think that would be cool to do first. So I'd probably say that'd be maybe the top for me now. But in second, I think I want to do something like math statistics for like a NBA or college team, probably like a professional, maybe not basketball, but a sports related statistician, something like that would be cool. I don't know.
So basically, you want to manage the salary cap, right?
Yeah, that'd be that'd be cool.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I have never even dreamed like that could have been a job back. See, so back when I was your age, I was all about I'm just going to go to school just to play ball and whatever happens, right? I got this, and I got this business like administration that I don't even know what I could do with. So I had to go back and get a master's degree, and it's just like whatever. It is what it is. So I'm definitely glad that you kind of have a path that you want to take, and you have options. So that is very, very mature of you to think like that. So go ahead, Wyatt.
Absolutely, Cooper. We appreciate you being on, buddy. Best of luck at Toledo. It's been awesome, kind of, in a way growing together, but like watching, you grow from a broadcaster standpoint as a friend and all that stuff. It's been a pleasure, man. I appreciate it a lot, and best of luck at Toledo.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was awesome to be on the show.
All right, man.
Absolutely no problem, man.
Go Rockets.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Wyatt, you got a tear in your eye, man.
I know, man. It's crazy. Like, we're all going to college, like Cooper, and then we talked to Trey. It's nuts. It's wild. Like, it's so far out there for me. I can't believe it. Like, I just remember, feels like 2 weeks ago we were all playing kickball on the playground. Like, and now here we are.
It was actually last Saturday that
that
you guys were doing that, Wyatt. So
I was playing kickball. They were playing in a state finals game. So you can see how well our athletic careers, where they went and where I went. It is what it is.
Well, maybe if you would have stayed at Sellersburg, maybe you could have been there too, Wyatt. Like,
hey, maybe I should have went. So you're right. Maybe I should have went to Silver Creek. Maybe I'd be headed to.
This is all your mom's fault.
It is.
I'm kidding.
It's all.
So a few big things that all these young men that we spoke to tonight really brought out was they're going to college and they're pursuing a degree at the end of the day, and I just want to let people know that are going to college or thinking about going to college or like out of high school, you guys need a 4-year degree to fall back on. Like, you may not be going to school for XYZ, but you will always need a 4-year degree to fall back on. Just because there are some companies that will simply just hire you because you have a 4-year degree. It could be an underwater basket, whatever. As long as you have that bachelor degree, you are going to take care of yourself, take care of your family, and eventually, you will get into the life of being an adult. So, Wyatt, great interviews tonight. Great week of shows. Next week, we got the NFL mock draft. This is 3.0 for you or 2.0?
Yep.
3.0?
3.0.
So we are going to do the NFL mock draft next Monday here on the youtube.com/man hour and also Big X Sports Radio 96.1. You can check us out over there at 3 p.m. every Monday through Friday, or here on youtube.com every Sunday through Thursday, 8 p.m. East Coast time. Wyatt, any closing thoughts before we head out?
Man Hour Nation, rise up.
Yes, sir.